They're trying to tell us something. They have figured out the formula for chaos.
When the clock strikes 8:30, babe, time to head for Chris's house. Will the song make it to the next round? Oh no. Pot of Thunder. Let's pot tonight. Come on, baby, let's pot tonight.
Woo! Woo! Band's cooking tonight. Woo! I'm about to take my top off. Chris almost spilled his drink.
It's chaos.
It is
chaos. It is the formula.
Madness here. Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And you know me.
Who went to recruit Nick and Chris? Whose open shirt look is hotter than great? Who's the first one to get to 500? Everyone knows it's Andy.
Yay.
Courtesy of Rich.
All right. What's the real song? I know I've heard that before, but what is
Everyone knows it's Windy.
Windy?
Windy.
As in, that's a person, though? Not like the
like
outdoor conditions?
It's a person.
Yeah, okay.
I think, it's a person.
All right. I know the melody, but I don't know the song.
Those hippy-dippy songs from the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, when Rich sent me the lyrics, I'm like, I don't know what song this is a parody of.
Needed a little extra help, huh?
I needed a little extra help on that one.
Well, it came out great, so thank you. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Nick. And you know me. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother, as always, joined by the man over there who's not prepared.
Hold on a second.
I don't know what takes you so long. You should see this coming.
I don't know why you did this to me.
Why do you do this to me? Every week, this is the time. Here we go. Look at him. Oh, yeah. Polka dancing his way. Across the podcast studio, Nick Polak has entered the program. Did you see him go? He was riding that thing like slow down Andy himself.
Worth every penny of the Patreon membership to be able to see that. Mm-hmm. If you're not seeing that every week, you need to loosen up the purse strings and treat yourself, if you will.
Yes.
Well, there he is. Nick, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You rode your chupacabra like a pony around the studio.
Little Gangnam style call back for everybody.
From 2 weeks ago, that's right.
Just in case they forgot.
Yeah. And directly to Nick's left. You want him. We got him.
I can have it every day, yeah. I can have it. Get out of my way, yeah, fuck you.
Put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast, Medium. That is Chris L. We are Pot of Thunder. We've got a dynamite show for you today.
Woo! That song I hear is shaping up to be a hit down in Australia.
Yeah, it's going to be like Kiss Unmasked.
Like Shandy.
It's your Shandy, yeah.
Virtually zero success stateside, but down under,
when you tour,
chart topper.
When you tour Australia in 30 years, you're going to have to put that one in the set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Forever.
Everywhere else, don't bother with it.
But everywhere else, you're doing the potato song.
Yeah.
The Olive Garden song.
Yeah. The River of Infidelity. Yeah, Nick and I were reminiscing about that one earlier today.
Yeah. Which one was that?
It's the river, the Billy Joel.
What is the original? The River
of Dreams. I think.
Oh, yes. I remember now. Okay. Yeah.
Another unappreciated classic.
That might have been a one and done, huh? I don't know if that one ever was played more than once.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
somewhere.
Oh, that's right. It is.
It's
of course
somewhere.
It is.
Yeah.
I think you can find it under the videos tab on our website as well.
There you go.
It's worth it. It's great.
Yes, indeed. Oh, what a program. I was looking at the Chat GPT AI generated script for this
Oh,
week's
boy.
program. Oh, they nailed it. I don't know what any of that means, but apparently that's what's happening these days.
I don't like the idea.
You
I personally don't like it. Not that that matters.
I was going to say, you just have to live with it.
If you put a toy in front of somebody, they're going to play with it.
That's it.
Yep.
You don't have to like it, but it's here. Yes. What a show. What is it? Nick's turn to pick from
It
the
is.
listener
Better believe it.
submission list. All right. well,
Episode 507. Look at him.
507.
Man. Listen to him. He's all charged up here.
he is. He's excited.
Because guess what? Guess what happened tonight, this evening here? The return of some foil. I finally am back at it.
Yay.
I'm excited.
Who wants to eat dainties? Who wants to eat baked treats with me?
Yay. Treats are back. Treats are back in our lives. That's good because I didn't have one today. I thought about it and I said no.
You didn't have any sweets today at all?
Nope. Not
No
today.
candy?
None of that. None of that. Had a burger, had a couple adult beverages.
Burger from where?
Went to 18th Street Brewery.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How was it?
It's nice. Good time. What do we got here, Nick?
We got, since we just had Easter, carrots were on my mind.
Oh, carrots are on your mind. There's another song, another parody. Always on your mind.
Might
There
have
were
to.
carrots on my mind. There were carrots on my mind.
Well, don't have to send me a vocal track now. We've got it.
That's it. Let's pull it right from the episode.
This is called...
Maybe I didn't eat my vegetables quite as often as I should have. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's working.
So this is actually an official Reese's recipe.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure it's not a Reese's official
Oh.
recipe?
So I usually say Reese's, but I guess
Okay,
I've
why do
grown
you
out of
say
it.
Reese's? Why does anybody
We
say
used
Reese's?
to growing up. I have no
Why?
idea.
I don't remember saying it.
You never.
I think it was just
It even
you.
got to the point. No.
It was you.
It was me and Jay.
Yeah, right.
It was me and Jay, definitely.
Oh, okay, you two.
But and you were not excluded
Maybe I wasn't
from
speaking yet.
this. It was Reese's, and it was even to the point where
So much wrong
where we
with that.
referred to it as Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I know. People said
And
that.
I don't know why, but that's what it was.
Because you latched on to morons. And
That's really what it is.
Where did was there? Who else said it? Was it?
It had to
Was
just
it
be
that common?
idiots said it. That's who said it.
no
So a
one
lot
in,
of people.
no one
Yeah.
in real life, like no official representation.
There was no
from the brand
There
was
was no
saying it.
commercial, right?
There's
Where
probably
someone
a
said
commercial.
Reese's.
No,
Okay,
no.
It's called knowing the English language and how it works, saying it properly.
No, but it
okay?
must have come from something.
Right, it came from the country's morons. I'm telling you.
Yes, but how could they be unified on this?
Because
That is interesting. I understand what you're saying.
okay,
Like,
it's okay. It's twofold. Okay, you take the apostrophe s off. You have Reese. Okay, like that's a last name.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with the possibility of the last name of Reese, right?
the possibility.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll suspend my disbelief right now.
So then you add the possessive, meaning it's the guy named Reese. It's his company. Mm-hmm. So it simply becomes Reese's. Where do you get Reese's out of that?
I think I really think it has to do with feces.
well,
No,
that's
people are not that
feces.
smart. They're not that funny. Yeah, exactly.
I always call them feces. So
And
don't know what
then
you're
you have the
talking about.
word pieces, which has never been pronounced pieces.
Yeah, it's not
How-
even
how
like
does-
Pisces. It's not even a word. PC.
But that's the thing. People they wouldn't say it to be funny or ironic. They thought that was the correct way to say it. They're idiots.
that was my earliest that I've ever heard of Reese's Cups, Reese's Pieces, whatever. my earliest memories are calling it Reese's. And Reese's
Unbelievable.
Pieces it even became.
I don't even remember you
And
saying
I
that.
absolutely.
if it was that common, if it wasn't just me and Jay saying it, if there were people in Detroit saying it as well.
Yeah.
Then
Everywhere.
there wasn't a commercial.
There
or
are
something?
memes. There are memes
Like,
about it.
Walter Cronkite didn't accidentally say it one time.
That's a
Like,
possibility.
what happened?
There are memes about it. People
I'm gonna
all
look
over the
that up.
world are aware of it.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
It's a phenomenon that I did not know spread past.
And it would be funny if people were in on the joke, but they're not. They're stupid. They think that's how it's pronounced, and there's both sides of that phrase. It's impossible to mispronounce it, yet people do it anyway, and they think that's the right thing to do. Anyway, talk about the recipe here.
Well, this is from Hersheyland.com, so I'm assuming it might be official. I might have been wrong about that, but it looks official. This is called mouth-watering carrot cake with Reese's peanut butter chips
Okay.
Okay.
with
well,
a cream cheese frosting. And remember the tomato cake? How you
how-
couldn't
how could you forget?
You couldn't taste the tomato, right? There's something in this that when I had it, I couldn't taste it. I don't know why it's in there. It might just be for moisture or it plays off of another flavor. There's a can of crushed pineapple with the juice. Like you don't drain it, you just dump it, the whole thing in with the juice.
I like it.
And that's
I'm a
in
fan.
there. And I couldn't taste it whatsoever, but I thought it was pretty good, so I brought a piece for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoy carrot cake.
I do
Chris, where are
too.
you at on carrot cake?
I'm good with carrot cake, especially when there's no carrot laid out on the top of the frosting. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
it still doesn't wash with me that it's necessary.
You think it's unnecessary?
It's not necessary.
What if they
They put a fucking frosting rendering of a lime on key lime pie. No.
No, but they usually stick a lime piece on the top, don't they? Like
Is
a little.
it just
Not
for
always.
ease of identification?
I think that's what it is.
But they don't do it with banana cake.
They don't do it with any other cake except carrot. Why?
Yeah, maybe it's just because people don't like carrot cake. It's very divisive, so it's like, hey, we're letting you know now, so you don't accidentally eat this.
Okay, but so you see something, you just start shoving it in your mouth if you don't know what it was.
Well, we just got done talking about people saying Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, you're
so-
right.
Yeah.
Idiots. Absolute fucking idiots. So now the mouth-watering aspect of this will be the judge of that.
Yeah,
right,
that's
Andy?
not necessarily an objective part of the title.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. Nick, thank you so much for bringing that in. It's going to be good. I had a little crumb of it, but I'm going to save it for the song. Because I got some talking to do, and nobody wants to hear me do mouth-smacking noises. Nobody likes that, do they? I don't think so. Unless that's one of those ASMR
ASMR
thing.
people,
But do they do eating? I knew they do all that other weird shit.
Do they do eating? Yes.
What's ASMR?
Oh, I don't remember.
I
but
forget
it's,
what it stands for, but it's a reaction in your brain.
Oh, I get it. I know what you're saying.
where people do like the unwrapping of stuff with a close microphone and like
I'm under the impression
tapping.
that there's
It's
like
a sensory.
There's like a euphoria, a sense like a type of euphoria that you're supposed to reach from it. That's what I got from when I read about it one time.
Well, I don't have that illness to where this appeals.
I
to
didn't
me.
either. I find those videos fascinating, but it sounds like the microphone is. They usually have it way too hot.
Oh well, yeah, you
and
gotta
it
go.
sounds like they're chewing glass.
Here's what it sounds like. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it real hot too.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, this cake's gonna give me a boner. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
End
it's
of segment.
People,
dropped a peanut
people
butter
like
chip.
Any
that.
It's one of those things where it's like a YouTube sensation.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you got,
man.
like people are probably making millions of dollars making these stupid videos.
Oh, and you want to know another one? And I think this lady does that too. I forget her name, but I know people who've watched this. There are similar type videos where someone will go into a store. They'll pick a small section where you have either like shelving or whatever those are called, the metal rods that stick, that you can kind of move around on like a pegboard and hang merchandise on.
Like action figures or whatever. Yeah.
They will go there. They will pick out a small section and they will reorganize it so that it looks perfect. And this
Like
is
everything's
like equal
unified.
equal
Yeah, yeah.
amounts of everything coming out to the exact same spot.
And they don't work there.
No,
They
no.
just set their camera
No,
up.
no, but I'm sure
help
I'm
themselves.
sure they monetize the videos and they make money doing
Sure,
this.
yes.
But
I haven't heard of that yet.
that's out there.
What's going to be our thing? Because it's obviously not what we're doing now. Let's just call a spade a spade.
I think it's Chris's sound clip.
Yeah, it might be it.
I think
out of my way.
I think that's what we're latching on to.
Yeah.
We're putting all the chips on that.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
It's no more ridiculous than any of the shit you just described
It's
that
not.
I had no idea were
Yeah.
things on YouTube.
People are making money doing this shit.
Something wrong with people.
What's wrong with
Very wrong with people.
No.
Oh, beep, 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 beep. Oh my goodness. We have a Pot of Thunder news brief coming in. Oh, boy. Okay. An unfortunate situation unfolded last week when the Dalai Lama was caught on camera asking a young boy to suck on his tongue. Joining us now live to ask the Dalai Lama how this scandal will impact his legacy is Pot of Thunder's field correspondent, Susie Kolber. Susie.
What does it mean to you now?
I want to kiss you. I couldn't care less. I want to kiss you.
Oh, all right. Never mind. Back to the show. Okay. So what were you going to say next?
I was gonna ask if you need me to come over there.
Oh, yes, we do. We're going to need you over here.
Hey, where are we up to on the list? How many?
667. One number away from,
One number past.
what is it, the
code-
neighbor of the beast?
The code for Nero.
There you go. All right. Pull that lever, Nick. You didn't pull it?
I did.
Whew. All right. We pulled the lever out of the 667. We got number 270. So I will pull this up for Nick. Nick's over here taking a look. This is the section here. That's what we got here, and that's 270. Chris, 270.
Can you show me
270?
This one here.
Yeah,
Move it over
the
to the
270.
to the comments.
Move it on over. Slide it on over.
Is it okay if I put a bookmark on that
You
one?
can do
Of
it.
course, it's your fucking show.
You
Of
do-
course, it's
All
okay.
right, I'm
You
gonna,
do it.
I'm gonna put a bookmark on that one.
Okay, let's pull it again. I don't know why that's like staggering to me, even though it's quiet and peaceful. That could be on an ASMR video.
It could be.
Oh, look at this one.
Oh boy.
This is number 21.
Oh,
21.
man.
Yeah, at the very top of the list. Starts with an A. The artist.
Two people want it too, huh?
You want it? I want it.
You know what though? I don't think so.
You don't want that guy? Oh, look at this. It's here again. Oh no, it's a different song. Sorry.
Yeah, considering recent events, I'm actually not going to.
You don't want it.
I'm gonna.
Straight up bushwicking it.
And I'll say it. I love it, but I'm not gonna do it.
All right. Well,
Move along to the next trick.
Huge fan of that one, but nope.
but not today. So it's either the first one or
Or this one.
a little bell. What's the significance of the bell?
I
The
don't-
cooking
just that,
timer?
Just that it's done. It's
Oh,
like,
okay.
I guess.
Okay. All right, we got number 391.
I'm going first one.
First one
Yeah, and I'll explain when I get
when you get there.
when
All
I
right,
get
so
back.
Nick's going with number 270 on the list of 667 songs that have been submitted via
So-
our listeners.
Oh,
Look
so
at you.
I'm all out of sorts. Before we reveal it, it's not a song that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't know it by the title. I don't know much from this artist. Chances are when we start listening to it, I'm not going to know it either. So I'm looking forward to a first listen.
Yeah.
It's something. Let's see here. I'm looking forward to a first listen, and also it's something that Chris has mentioned. I don't know about the song in particular, but this artist in this era, and we have the listener who submitted it said we got to go with the live version. I'm fine with that.
Hey, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
We'll determine that. If you say I'm familiar with the song, let me hear what the song is, and then we'll decide. We don't take direction.
I'm fairly certain you've mentioned this live album or live version of, or at least this artist.
We'll decide whether we do the live version.
I'm fine with it.
Have to do anything that the listeners say we.
You can shed some light on it when it's revealed. Give some guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I don't have anything that specifically fits the theme, but I've got something really weird here that I think we should do anyway as part of this segment. So hit it.
Oh.
Habemus Papa.
Time for Pope stuff. Yeah, that Pope stuff. Here's some Pope stuff. Time for Pope stuff.
All right, so just for grins, I looked up the year 666, and under religion and events here, the second one just stood out to me as being very weird. So here we go.
Okay.
Irkenwald.
Oh, him?
An Anglo-Saxon abbot establishes the Benedictine Abbeys, Chertsey Abbey, Surrey, for men, and Barking Abbey, now in East London, for women.
What kind of abbot was this person?
Anglo-Saxon.
All right, that's my new header on LinkedIn starting tomorrow. Anglo-Saxon abbot.
Spell A-B-B-O-T, one T.
One T.
Spell it right, yeah.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be mayor of Barking Abbey. What is an abbey anyway?
Like
is that what
church of
Downton
sorts.
Abbey is all about?
No, it's not a church. It's like a what's that called? Like an estate or something?
Does it have to do with the diocese?
I
don't know. I think it's very British, and along with the line with Surrey and a lot of names like that. They got some weird names for land over there.
Considering
for destinations.
Considering we speak the same language, doesn't make any sense.
It's very very hard for an American to navigate. Just the name of areas.
Here we go. An abbey is a type of monastery used by members of a religious order under the governance of an abbot or an abbess.
There we go.
Okay.
We should set one up, the Farting Abbey. And then another one, the Shitting Abbey.
You need one.
Playing off of Barking Abbey. I love that.
Yeah.
Barking Abbey.
It's a good name. Barking Abbey.
Yeah. So yeah, technically not Pope stuff, but religious in nature.
Sure.
I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, this is weird.
So I listened to what you said, and I didn't even know that there was a sentence. I just heard a bunch of names.
That's what I mean. Is
Yeah,
it's
hard to make.
What was the verb in there? What happened?
Was barking a verb? No.
No. I don't know what happened. I like all the weird words, though. And that was Pope stuff for today. Pope stuff. Pope stuff. All right.
Today it was Abbott stuff.
Oh, Abbott stuff. Yeah. Anglo-Saxon Abbot, Andy Jones, available for hire. Looking to work, isn't that what it says? Or something like that. You can change your profile. Looking to work. No one hires anyone from LinkedIn. It's a worthless piece of shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm just going to become a belligerent maniac on there starting tomorrow.
Ooh.
Topless photos for my profile picture. Nobody wants to see that.
It wouldn't be as offensive as the insults to intelligence that you see on there every day.
That's true.
The way people post things, it's insulting.
But again, let's keep with our theme today with our Reese's Pieces.
It insults.
People fall for it.
Even the intelligence of those who call it that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying there's a whole slew of people who just buy it, hook, line,
and
and
they're
sinker.
all about it.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, establishing their brand on LinkedIn.
You have no brand.
Yeah, you got nothing.
You're a pile of shit. Hey, I'm better than you. That's going to be my other thing. I'm better than... If you're a hiring manager, I want you to know I'm better than you.
He is.
I'm going to adjust the chair so it's taller than yours in the interview.
Yeah. Okay.
So you'll have to read everything because I only know the artist.
Okay, I'll do the deal.
Right. Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Hamill. This one's called
Musta Got Lost.
Off of
Blow Your Face Out.
by the band.
Geils Band.
Ow!
Chris?
You have to go with the live version for the intro stage rap, which is legendary.
Okay.
Are either you guys familiar with
No.
that?
Definitely not.
Okay.
But
That'll be interesting to be present for your first listen to that.
if that's one of the reasons, then absolutely.
Oh, it has to. Yeah, that's absolute, because that was like one of those. This is one of those songs that when it got played on the radio in Detroit, and it happened a lot, it was always the live version. Just like the cuts from Frampton Comes Alive were you never heard the studio versions. It was always the live versions. Yeah. This falls into that category. The studio version is okay, but it's very sort of down tempo, lacking in energy compared to this. But the real key is the spoken word intro rap from Peter Wolf leading into it.
From what you're saying, all signs are pointing to the live version.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So this one came to us from Fielding Fowler, who's actually on our live stream right now watching, and he knew by the comments, even though Nick didn't say much, he said, "Oh, I think that's mine that I submitted."
Wow.
So he was right. And he says, let me pull up his comment here, "You absolutely must go with the live version. Peter Wolf shows why he was one of the great frontmen before J. Geils went pure radio pop."
So what year is this approximately?
This would be 77?
76.
76, okay.
Blow Your Face
Yeah,
Out.
this is another one of those iconic 70s double live albums that is simply outstanding.
What a title for an album, too.
Blow Your Face
in the
Out,
70s.
Yeah. Some good song titles, too.
Can you share a few?
Nah, I'm busy.
Got a mouthful of carrot cake.
Southside Shuffle.
I've heard of that one.
Shoot Your Shot.
Okay.
Truck Driving Man.
I like that.
Love Itis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, in parentheses, Ain't Nothing But a House Party.
Really?
House Party out of...
In fact, I think it's that song. The title of the album comes from Peter Wolf's spoken word intro to that song. I believe that's the one.
Snow Cone. It ain't no snow cone.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all good
Interesting
on
titles. It's not a selection of titles that, in my opinion, are like from a band who's got a definite theme and they're not deviating from it, as far as subject matter goes.
Yeah.
But again, I'm ignorant to it. I only know how many the radio pop hits did J. Geils have?
You know Centerfold and Freeze Frame, and that's probably it.
Most likely that's
Love
it.
Stinks. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, Love Stinks, I know.
Okay,
but none of those really are ones that I go to. I'm curious about this earlier era and this live stuff.
I encourage you to certainly explore this album. I mean, the energy is off the charts, and just the material is excellent as well.
All right. Well, any other thoughts before we get started?
Not for
No,
me.
I'm excited to hear your take on having never heard this live version with the intro. I mean, I've grown up in Detroit. I've probably heard this 10,000 times on the radio, and then 10,000 more just from having the album and listening to it. And
what was the significance of it being so Detroit heavy? Just was.
Well, their Detroit Breakdown is one of the. So Jay Geils was like Kiss, where they had a song that name checked Detroit. You do that, you're heroes in the city forever. And they were also their previous live album, Full House, which is a single live album, which a lot of people prefer to this album. Was recorded at the Grand Ballroom in Detroit, I believe. So they're one of those bands from Boston, like Kiss from New York, but were hugely popular almost immediately in Detroit, and returned the favor by recording live albums there and then name-checking the city in one of their biggest mid-period songs.
Okay. Alrighty, well, I'm excited to listen to this for the very first time, I think, unless it's one of those things where we play it and we go, oh, yeah.
Could be.
Right.
I don't think so, though.
But we'll see.
Well, and that we can discuss it more as we get into it, but this also illustrates to me, which is interesting disparity between Chicago and Detroit radio markets, where, 300 miles physical difference, but there's a lot of things that were huge in Chicago that weren't in Detroit, and vice versa. And this is Jay Geils was massive in Detroit and just kind of an afterthought in Chicago, except probably they latched onto the centerfold and freeze frame stuff, but the stuff dating back all the way to 1970 was just, all of it was huge in Detroit. I mean, Jay Geils was worshipped there.
So Jay Geils no longer with us.
No, he is not.
Peter Wolf still with us.
A lot of people speak very highly of his solo material, which he's put out quite a bit of it over the past 3-4 decades since the band stopped functioning as a unit.
I gotta say, I love the look. It doesn't say what year it's from, but the Peter Wolf look.
Let me see
from his Wikipedia page.
Yeah,
that's like 70s rock and roll. That's he's going for two different looks at the same time there.
Yep.
From the neck up, he's got a working band kind of look, and then he's got I wouldn't say quite Steven Tyler-ish from the neck down, but that's that sort of flamboyance. Yeah, interesting look on that photo.
Yeah, they were very 70s, and great band, incredible live band. This album captures the energy, as did the previous one, which was I think that one was 73 or 74. Single live album, but
Full House 72.
72, yeah. That was before live albums really came into vogue, but that's a great one too. I mean, just energy off the charts. And they're another band that never really captured that energy in the studio, but these live albums just set them off. And I never saw them live in their heyday, and just everybody who did just said it was more than your money's worth, and just a party band that ended up playing arenas.
Would you put them in the same category as Bob Seger at the time?
I'd put them
if you're a fan
similar.
of one, you're a fan of the other.
They're a little less like Seger. Seger kind of gets lumped in with the Mellencamp's and the Springsteens in terms of that kind of storytelling music, or songs for the everyman that can relate to, and stuff like that. Jay Geils definitely wrote songs more from the groin area, from the party, horny mindset, which we enjoy on this show.
Yeah, definitely. So. Okay, well, let's take a quick break, get a word from some of our very favorite sponsors, the Reese's Pieces folks.
Yeah, right.
Are they? That's a Hershey's product?
Yeah.
Okay. I forget sometimes which is which. Not a Mars or Hershey's. My favorite, I like Snickers. Those are good.
Yeah, exactly.
I also like Baby Ruths. Those are good.
Yeah, right, yeah. See?
Now
Oh,
It's okay, actually. We can go to our commercial.
Uh-huh.
And then once the song starts, I'll stop it. You better
okay.
believe that's
All
going
right,
to happen.
Let's do this commercial.
Well, hold on. This song has a little introduction to it. It ain't supposed to be sad, though you might feel it that way. It's a song about desperation. Every now and then we do get...
Why is Mitch Hedberg
I was thinking the same thing.
or Dusty Rhodes, Mitch Hedberg kind of delivery?
Well,
I love it.
Good. I'm glad you're liking it so far. But that never occurred to me because I was not much into wrestling, but it does have that, sort of that vibe of a wrestler getting on the mic, and just going off on something, and there you go.
Okay, let's keep. Or did you want to say something else, or you
no,
keep going?
No,
Keep
I
going?
don't. I don't want to interrupt the stage rap too much.
desperate. This is a song about L-O-V-E, and if you abuse it, you're gonna lose it, and if you lose it, you're gonna abuse it, and if you abuse it, you ain't gonna be able to choose it, because you ain't gonna have it further on down the line, things ain't gonna be so fine, you're gonna be sitting there on your little machine, trying to look and keep it clean, you're gonna be playing bingo all night all alone, that's why you're sitting there by the telephone, and you know that she ain't going to call you. So you put on the TV and you're watching Johnny Carson segueing right into the Tomorrow Show, but that don't got to go, so you turn it off, you turn on the radio don't seem to get the click, so you say, hey man, I can't look at the split. You start to open up a little book and there's something there you got to overlook, and you say, baby, you know there's something on my mind. You say, baby, there's something on my mind. I know that you're home and I know you ain't all alone. So you start walking over to a house. You get over to a house, you walk over to a door, you start pounding on the door. You say, open up the door, bitch, this is Wolf Goof with the green teeth, let me in.
So you neither of you guys have heard this before?
Never heard
That blows my mind.
Never heard
man.
this.
This was all over Detroit radio.
They played this whole intro.
The whole intro every time.
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something I would have remembered had
So
I heard this.
you'd be listening to the radio, it'd be song playing, and then you'd hear that little drum roll that starts off bum bum bum, and then you knew you were in store for the Peter Wolf Musta Got Lost intro.
I do like how the very beginning there's a couple of seconds of drumming and he's like, wait a minute, like he stops him.
Yeah.
Like I got
an intro
there's something
here.
I gotta do.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Man, oh man.
It is like a Dusty Rhodes superstar Billy Graham or someone.
See,
But this might I don't know if it predates them. It would be right around the same time, early 70s.
Well, I mean, people love Paul Stanley's old stage rap. Well, even now, but it's his stage raps. And what is he basically doing? He's doing like a Southern preacher, which is basically what the wrestlers were doing.
Yeah.
So a lot of it
that hits home with everyone for some reason.
There's so much enthusiasm behind it.
Yeah. Even if it's not your natural accent, to just slip into that when you're on stage or on camera, it's okay.
it's showbiz.
That's showbiz, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Well, she opens up the door and then you just kind of walk up to her and say, baby. You look up way up at her green mascara and you say, oh my darling, you know her and me was at the party as friends. Do not believe what they say, that's only gossip that they're telling you down the wisecracker line. You say, darling.
I don't believe him.
No, he's
Take your big curls and just squeeze them down, Rotumba. What's the name of that chick with the long hair?
Rapunzel.
That's right. Hey, Rapunzel. Hey, Reputa. Reputa the Buta. Hey, Reputa the Buta. Clip me down your hair and let me climb up to the light of your love. Because this is Wolf Goof saying to you.
This is
Love comes
unbelievable.
once.
Dare I say, like the comparison you made to the Poughkeepsie thing, or Poughkeepsie, whatever you pronounce it, Poughkeepsie's PCs, venturing into flying errands territory with this kind of diatribe.
With more than one guy on mic, audible. Yeah. Everybody just kind of... Oh, this is unbelievable. And how far are we?
In a good way?
Yeah, how far are we into this?
It's coming to the end. It's coming to the where they cut into the song here.
It's been 1 minute and 57 seconds.
It's a long
so we're
one.
at a 2 minute verbal intro that got played on the radio
all the time on Detroit radio.
That's
and
funny.
you guys have never heard it 300
Never.
miles away. That's
Never
incredible.
heard this. This is this is crazy.
So when it comes, you better grab it fast, cause sometimes the love you grab ain't gonna last, and I believe I muster. You know, I think I muster. You know, baby, I think I muster. You know, I think I muster. I musta got lost. Never thought about tomorrow. Seemed like a long time to come. How can I be so blind, baby?
So Andy, what do you think? I wanted to stop it.
He's got a mouthful of mouth-watering carrot.
And he fish-eyed me before he did it. That was a mistake.
That was my fault. Rookie move.
So I found it interesting because I don't know a lot about Geils Band, but I would assume he was a primary songwriter of the group. Does not appear so, at least based on this album, which I'm thinking it's named after him.
Yeah.
I would imagine that a huge stake in the songwriting would come along.
Not
with
necessarily.
That
I think he just formed it. Either that, or he was like the most prominent. He was pretty big on the whatever Boston blues scene was happening at the time, and I think he just formed the band around him, and then it just took on a life of its own. But it's so Peter Wolf does most of the, if not all of the lyric writing, and then Seth Justman, the keyboard player, is playing those huge sounding Hammond organ that you hear on here, and just throughout their career did a lot of different played a lot of those like vintage Farfisa organs that you'd hear on Doors stuff, and dabbled in synthesizers and other keyboards later, that were more indicative of the 80s. But he was known as having big old Hammond organ with those two or three of the fucking speaker cabinets that had the fans going in them to get that sort of Doppler effect.
Yeah.
And give it, and that the only way to get that genuine sound, is to have those huge, Leslie rotating speaker cabinets is what they were called. So that was kind of his thing. And that,
how did those work? They had a fan inside.
There's a big wooden box. Speaker is actually pointing down.
Yeah, and there's
and it was pointing into a fan,
okay.
that the player would adjust the speed with his foot, and
Okay.
speed it up, slow it down, and any kid has yelled into a box fan in his day to hear that effect. That's basically what it would do to the organ. But so in that respect, you hear a lot of sonically. There's a lot of similarities to E Street Band, where they would have this epic. E Street Band actually had two keyboard players, and they just. A big part of the sound was that huge epic keyboard organ playing going on. So in that respect, there's a similarity, big one here for me, between Geils and Springsteen.
And I found out the hard way what could happen to an organ in a box fan. More on that later.
I see you what it was. I let you slip on from me, baby. I let you walk on by. To the love you had for me, I refuse to love, I let it die. Musta got lost. Musta got lost. Musta got lost. Somewhere down the line. Musta got lost. Musta got lost. Give away the days you were mine.
So yeah, another notable guy in the band is Magic Dick.
Oh,
it's his stage name.
Yeah, I remember him.
Similar to what Andy apparently inserted into a box fan. But I actually put my foot in a box fan when we were kids. We were at went to some friends of my parents, and like they had kids the same age, and we were messing around, and I put my foot in a box fan, and it cut it up pretty bad. I mean, it was like bleeding like crazy, and that was the end of that party. Was we had to leave at that point, but I did it. I put my foot in a fan when I was a kid.
Was the grates big enough to fit a foot, or was it missing a part or something?
Okay, it wasn't really a box fan. It was like the circular fan that like would rotate around,
oscillating.
You could. There was room for probably a 70-year-old foot to go in there.
Okay.
And I was determined to test that out.
Before they were made of plastic, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah, that was a bad move on my part, obviously. But
I bet.
But yeah, Magic Dick is primarily a harp player, and you hear, kind of the harp accents being played. But he would also double on saxophone when needed. So that was his thing. Harp and saxophone.
Okay.
And he had a big old afro and, interesting looking guy, a visually striking individual. They were all they almost kind of had a visual resemblance to Sha Na Na in a way. With like, they had the dark shades on and like the leather pants and whatnot. They kind of visually had that vibe, sans Bowser, of course. But, almost like a 50s throwback, but very like 50s throwback combined with 70s look. It had an interesting visual look. I mean, there's nothing like glam or anything spectacular about them in that way, but they definitely looked like rock stars and put on amazing live shows.
Don't know why I let you leave me, honey, I don't know. Says hard, see loving coming, baby, honey, I've always seen it go. Musta got lost, musta got lost, musta got lost, somewhere down the line. Musta got lost, I got lost. Give away the days you were mine. Love can be a sweet thing, girl, I just don't understand.
It's like a pure jive vocal.
Yeah.
He's got like the jive accent. Jive is the word that comes up. I don't know. I can't think of another way to describe it. He's rapping at somebody, Mm-hmm. It's a bit like some of the Lou Rawls stuff from 60s and 70s where he would go into those like when he would do Bye Bye Blackbird, and he would keep naming different birds like rapid succession, and he would just kind of keep doing it for comic effect instead of just saying Blackbird. He would just name them all. I'm getting like a street hustling kind of kind of a thing here.
Yeah, he had all the right influences. I mean, you can tell you don't necessarily are able to name them, but you can hear them in like his delivery and everything, that he listened to the right music and was influenced by quality individuals. And I want to say he had one of those like little Steven Van Zandt has the garage rock or whatever his radio show is called. I can't think of what it is, but playing like mostly obscure music, but like really high quality stuff. And I want to say Peter Wolf had some sort of radio show like that at some point, but even if he didn't, what I'm trying to say is that he has that same like encyclopedic knowledge of semi-obscure but really high quality music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like Little Steven Van Zandt. There's another Springsteen connection, but just all the right influences, impeccable taste in music, and it all comes through in what he brought to J. Geils Band.
And would you say it'd be safe to assume that this inspired the Blues Brothers in some way? Because that's the vibe I'm getting from it.
Yeah, I hear that too.
I've never heard that overtly mentioned, but I would think there was some respect there from if not Belushi and Aykroyd, but all the guys in the band would have been like, if you mentioned Geils Band to them, they're like, oh yeah, they're fucking great.
I would put money on it saying Aykroyd's a fan of this album.
Well, I would say so too with the harp playing. It's like Magic Dick was probably the only guy doing it in like a rock setting, and just it was very unique in that way. But yeah, Aykroyd being a harp player, and a pretty good one at that, would definitely have been aware of Magic Dick at the time.
That's what they called the prosthetic on his nose during
right, yeah, exactly. That was his homage to Magic Dick, which Magic Dick deserved better than that.
He did. Yeah, disgraceful.
That flaccid little thing dangling off his nose in one of the worst movies of all time.
Did you say one of?
Yeah, it's got to be
it's got to be the worst. You can't even give it one of.
I'm thinking
there's nothing worse.
That Jerry Lewis movie that nobody's seen is better than that, probably.
What is that? Something that never came out, or something?
The Clown That Cried.
It never came out.
Never came out, but
because it was so bad.
It's yeah.
Was that Jerry Lewis's Batwoman or whatever?
I guess
something where the studio watched it and decided we're going to lose money on this, just torch it.
There are people, I've heard stories that there are people who have seen it in his home. He's shown it to a few people.
I bet.
But it's one of those, hardly anybody has ever seen it, and it's supposed to be just that bad.
That's interesting.
And I won't go into the subject matter because I don't want to bring us down.
Yeah,
people could look it up if they want to.
What's it called?
The Clown That Cried.
The name is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's already bad.
Yeah, you got to rename it.
Ham-handed naming.
Ron Keel of movie titles. Like, if that's the title of your movie, change it. It's not gonna fly.
All right, let's keep going.
Made a game out of loving you. Now hold losing hand. Oh, must have got lost. Must have got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Must have got lost. I got lost, girl.
So, kind of on the Blues Brothers subject here, this type of band, to me, even though I know they're not a New York band, just sounds to me like, okay, this could be like the Saturday Night Live house band. Like, it's got that sound, like, like John Lennon had songs where it sounded like he had the same kind of New York sound, like Whatever Gets You Through the Night or something like that. It sounded like it could be when Saturday Night Live is either, the after the cold open and then you've got the theme music playing, this kind of band, or like before commercials, something like that. This kind of sound. It's very, very 70s, and to my ears, it's got a New York flavor. It's not completely like, I would say this is in the same vein as like Whatever Gets You Through the Night or something like that, but it's got all the elements there.
Yeah, and I mean, New York and Boston are not that far removed from each other. I mean, it's all just sort of that upper East Coast region that, two big cities in that area. I mean, it would make sense that they would have that sound going, even though they weren't from New York, so to speak.
I just got a note here. It says Peter Wolf was married to Faye Dunaway in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's who he was talking about there with that stage rap.
Reputa the Buta.
Yeah.
That Jezebel. I mean, it's so like...
She took my money. She took my credit cards.
Oh, I want you to finish.
No, I'm not finishing.
Oh, you got to say the next one.
I'll sneak up on you later.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going.
Give away the days of mine. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And I must have got lost. Must have got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Hey. Must have got lost, baby. I got lost, girl. Give away the days of mine. Must have got lost. I got lost. Must have got lost somewhere down the line. Must have got lost. Oh, I got lost.
So I haven't been following the lyrics that closely, but I'm not sure what "Musta Got Lost" even means. In
Well,
this
basically
context.
the gist of the song is this is the one that got away.
Okay.
He had her in a relationship and let her slip away,
okay.
so he must have got lost somewhere down the line and went to blow this relationship.
Yeah.
That's the long and the short of it.
Okay.
Girl, give away the days you're mine. Come on. Oh, I got lost, double cross. Your loving, give it to me on over. Yeah. 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 Said your love got me higher than I ever been lifted before. I said your love got me higher than I ever been lifted.
a pretty masterful build to where we are.
Well,
from the beginning of the song all the way to here.
That's. I was just about to say that. Like I said, the energy that these guys put out and the way they know how to work a song and whip it into a frenzy just before what we're about to hear, which is a huge concert ending, which you gotta love. But yeah, I mean, that vocal thing he did, and with the organ coming in, it's just, and the drummer kicking into double time, and Jay Geils just digging into one chord. They're just escalating to a majestic concert ending right here.
Yeah, can't argue with the results there.
Yeah, that's a great one.
So there you have it in its entirety from the 1976 live album. Nick, what was that album called again?
Shoot You
Full of Love, of course.
Shoot you in the... What was it? Blow your face out. Blow your face out.
Blow your screw face out.
Screwhead. Yeah. So there you have it. Interesting. Nick chose this song from the listener submission list, so that means it's his turn to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch.
I'll give it a Sweet Surrender.
Oh.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Very I wasn't sure what to expect. I was almost expecting like a Grand Funk sort of a sound,
a little
just
heavier.
based on just based on what we were hearing. But it really worked. Like with the organ being really the most prominent instrument.
Yeah, it's not that way with all their songs, but it definitely obviously is in this one. Seth Justman is the star of that one instrumentally, I think.
And there was a part of it I can't put my finger on it. I think it's from that ZZ Top song. That
Which one?
The one that's got that lyric that we were talking about earlier. That premium wood belongs in a pencil, not in a condom.
Right.
I don't remember what song that was, but musically this song had a little resemblance to that. But
Yeah.
But I really.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was simply called Ticonderoga, if I recall correctly. But, yeah. Yeah, ZZ Top like to dabble into those Native American themes. So, yeah. We're the only 3 people on the planet who even think this is remotely funny. Apologies to people who are paying for the privilege to listen to this and everybody else who hears it eventually.
Ticonderoga.
Wasn't that on the soundtrack or something?
I think that's the Future 3.
That's right. That's what Back to the Future
Ticonderoga
3.
was
that train
when they were at that festival.
That's right. Yeah,
in the Old West.
And the kid who's pointing at his wiener. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I'll pass it to the next person.
All right, Chris. Why don't you?
Yeah, I'll go because I think there's going to be some suspense with Andy's reaction, but to me, the absolute sweetest of surrenders, of course.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Absolutely in my DNA, there's probably a time where I could recite that intro word for word.
Wow.
I think most people in town could do it if
Jeez.
pressed.
That's impressive.
I mean,
it was
no,
2 minutes.
That's more than just,
They played it constantly, I'm telling you, man. It's 4 or 5 times a day for a decade.
But
solid.
That's such a long intro, and there's so much going on there. It's not like everybody's got rock and roll pneumonia. And that,
right.
It's like this is like it's a song unto itself, basically.
No, but you could do it. You heard it enough on the radio, and you had the album in your collection. You heard it constantly, and in fact, you would aspire to get to the point where you could recite it word for word. But love it. Love the Geils Band. Highly recommend this album if you've never heard it. It's on par with Alive and Frampton Comes Alive and Live Bullet and all those iconic 70s double live albums. It's absolutely at the top of the list of those. It's the energy. I'm confident you guys picked up on that. Just you get a sense of what a great live band they were, and that I would say this is their most Springsteen-esque song, and mainly because that it's dominated by the Hammond organ like that. But I think also the structure of the song and I don't know what
did you
also,
do?
speaking of the Blues Brothers, they're coming after us.
Yeah.
Silence blaring.
But I think they were just more like a high octane blues band. The Blues Brothers comparison, to be honest, I never even connect those dots, but it makes a lot of sense and is a viable comparison. But they got a lot of variation in their catalog, and especially going back like super early. In that respect, since you brought up ZZ Top, they're kind of similar to that in that a lot of people were introduced to ZZ Top by the MTV hits. Mm-hmm. Jay Geils, same thing with Centerfold, but then you go backwards and you go back all the way to the beginning of the 70s, and you're like, fuck, these guys were legit, Not that they weren't legit with the MTV hits. I mean, I think especially with the ZZ Top stuff, I mean, that's quality stuff. It's just a drum machine sound and all, and the visual image and all that. But you realize that these guys had been at it for already 15 years at that point, and then you delve back into it, and you're like, holy shit, these guys were absolutely legit. And same deal goes for Jay Geils.
Is this right that their last album was Freeze Frame, 1981, or is that just the last one on Apple Music?
They had an album that actually came out after that Peter Wolf was not on, which was, obviously rejected by the marketplace. I think that was their last album, and I believe it was called "You're Getting Even While I'm Getting Odd." So,
That's a pretty good name.
I do enjoy that.
But yeah, Peter Wolf was out of the band at that point, and just really he pretty much most of the appeal of the band was gone. So that was that.
So, Chris, are you familiar with late great comedian Mitch Hedberg, or not really?
Not really.
Okay, because I'm just wondering. Name. I'm just wondering if you listen to some of his stuff, if you would agree as Andy and I, like, right away. I think that came to both of us when we were listening to the opening rap. It's like it sounds just like him.
Mitch Hedberg. Yeah. And then he got a little bit more high energy as he went along here, which Mitch Hedberg never did. But, but just the opening first couple sentences where he was just talking.
Now, what era is Mitch Hedberg from?
2000 to like 2000. I don't know, late 90s to 2005.
Is that when he died?
Yeah.
Man, it's a long time ago already.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but that's another one where I would be like, you ever heard the Peter Wolf rap on Musta Got Lost? He'd probably be like, yeah, I'm familiar with that.
It's pretty uncanny from that beginning of this rap how closely it sounds to his stage.
We'll send you some clips.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Now the moment of truth.
Well, I am going to give it a sweet surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yeah.
I was almost thinking Andy would be a little put off by like the organs and
he doesn't.
Like that,
none of the elements musically of the song really strike me as things that would resonate with Andy.
Well, I'm 40 years old now, so I'm a sophisticated blues man in my later years. This is what I'm into now. Vintage gear and blues music. It's my thing now.
Andy's got one of those harps that you can adjust to any key.
Yep.
Just in case. Keeps it in his polo front pocket.
Yep.
You never know.
Big old chromatic harmonica. That's what they call it.
There you go. Okay. I got the vest, like the fishing vest with one for each key that I just keep it underneath my suit coat when I go to work.
There you go.
My non-existent job. I'm at work right now. No, I enjoyed it. Maybe because I said the Blues Brothers thing, but the other thing, I think, if I haven't heard the studio version, obviously, but from your description, if I listen to that, I may not have enjoyed it, but you could tell it's a great live band, which is always appealing. And then I made that Blues Brothers connection in my head, which then I'm just kind of like visualizing that and enjoying myself. Good experience all around. I'm interested in listening to more, so I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I would just check out the rest of this album and then Full House, the other live album, was worth it. And then
what's that one like? Is their musical style the same from the first?
It's a little more raw, a little less like Springsteen-y, and a little more just like hard blues.
Okay, because I was gonna say if it's based on two albums that are I think it said 70 and 71, and this live album 72. Yeah. And that's it. So
yeah, they became, as they went along, they became definitely more song oriented versus just straight up, rip roaring party blues band. But they always had that element in their live shows, of course.
Okay.
But as they went through the 70s and into the 80s, they just became more song oriented.
Is there a band? This is a question for the listeners, unless you guys could think of one. I certainly can't. But is there a band that, somewhat prominent, that released a live album as their first release? Has that ever happened?
Jane's Addiction.
Was it?
Yeah. Jane's Addiction live came out before either of their studio albums. Yeah.
Okay.
That might be the only one.
And Perry Farrell. I mean,
odd character. I don't know who else did.
Yeah, Okay, well, you had an answer. I thought there'd be nobody.
Yeah. That was like, was it live at the Ritz or Roxy? I can't remember, but I know I've heard it, but yeah.
Before anybody knew them at all.
Yeah, it was just a hot LA band.
Wow.
That was, I think they might have already had a deal, but they put it out. Which had to be like, what are you doing? Like, they put it out independently.
Yeah.
Instead of putting it out on Warner Bros. There was some weird thing they had.
Huh.
We got to put out the live album first on the indie before we.
No, and it was all stuff from the first album, pretty much. Yeah. That's weird.
It is.
Okay.
I don't know anybody else who's done that though, but I like that idea.
It sounds like one of those things where to certain people, it's like this might not be the business-wise the best way to do it, but it's such a bizarre notion that let's just do it.
Yeah. There should be bands that only put out live albums. I'd be into that.
Yeah.
That's it. There'd be no way to familiarize yourself with the material, but so the crowd wouldn't be into it at all. So
like it's all new stuff.
Yeah, I mean it would have to be, right?
Yeah,
like
I guess
you've never heard it. Yeah. Oh, Jay Fran says MC5 did that too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
That's
there you
right.
go.
Interesting.
Good call.
Didn't know that. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Look where we are. Oh.
All right, Hammond, I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley wants to know, Musta Got Lost is a rock and roll boner classic as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners in this very room. Oh, Blues Brothers was all. I don't know if that counts, Fielding.
Maybe.
Because I feel like they're, I don't want to say they're a novelty, but I feel like...
I think they started out as a novelty, but end up being a legit band, you know?
Yeah. I'm not knocking them. They're great, but I just feel... Wasn't it a lot of established songs, too?
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, a lot of covers. Sam and Dave.
I'm thinking all,
Booker
right?
T and stuff.
So did the Blues Brothers really have any...
Yeah, I don't...
Were they known for originals?
I can't think of any originals that they did, no.
And Belushi reportedly didn't even care about blues music that much.
He just wasn't along for the ride?
He just he wanted Fear and punk bands.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
he got them on Saturday Night Live. From what I'd heard, he wasn't Aykroyd's a huge blues guy, but Belushi I don't think was. He was into the punk stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't they say he was there when Fear was the musical guest? That you couldn't see him, but when they had the the guy from Minor Threat was there, and I forget who else, but
in the audience, yeah.
Yeah, but like Belushi supposedly was there.
I know that was like I'll come back to host the show if you book Fear, but I don't know why they weren't on the same show. I don't know why that didn't shake out. Maybe just scheduling wise.
Yeah.
Weird.
I forget who it was. It was like a Halloween episode. It was it from the Halloween movies? I forget the actor's name, but yeah. Anyway. So do you think Kiss would ever have had a blues harp player anywhere near any of their recordings? Do you think that ever got considered in any way?
Yeah, well, I mean, wouldn't they have had... I can't remember the Wicked Lester stuff, really, but because they had every instrument ever created.
Yeah.
But, like, they had oboes and shit. I don't know. They had, like, everything. Flutes.
Yeah, but once they became Kiss...
Definitely not once they became Kiss.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Unless, I could see it on, like, Peter's solo album, but it wasn't.
Right. Yeah,
kind of surprised there wasn't any sort of harmonica on there.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Harmonica in the wrong hands, or in this case, the wrong mouth, is a disaster. Nobody likes it.
It's hard to play the harmonica with a busted lip.
Yeah.
No one in the studio could do it.
Exactly. Well, my vote's in, of course.
Nick?
I'm thinking. Putting it to serious consideration here. What about you?
Me?
You.
I didn't know I was in on this.
You're gonna have to be.
I didn't know I did voting. I was just gonna say whatever you were gonna say. I'll have what he's having.
Well, I think it should be me, Nick, Andy in that order.
Go
The
get me out of
votes
it.
are in. I think that would make the most sense.
Huh. All right, I'm in. I got it.
Okay.
Votes in. Bing.
Okay. I'm ready.
You're ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm ready to get rolling. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Rock.
Roll.
Boner.
It's a rock and roll ball, yeah. Are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
Shocking turn of events.
I didn't know what you were gonna do.
I just thought I was just gonna do whatever you were gonna do.
I mean, it's as far as 70s like raw, organic sounding live 70s stuff.
Yeah.
That to me. It's part of. I wouldn't say it defines it solely, but
it's in that.
But when you hear it, it's like okay, like yeah, this is, and the way that they crescendoed the energy and
the end,
and the pay, just like the whole song, it was kind of light, mellow, and then it would kick up a little bit, go back down, but then by the end, it's like you're not. It's kind of like. How did we even get here?
Yeah.
Like it just they made it happen unbeknownst.
Yeah, it really
to the
took
listener.
off when you that organ solo at the end. You really it's one of those things where like one guy just takes it off the runway and everybody follows along with it, you know.
Yeah, when that organ solo happened, Reggie Miller said,
Look at that.
Well,
that's how I felt by the end, though. I felt like it snuck up on me.
Yeah,
All of a sudden,
you're right.
All of a
You're right
sudden,
about
here
that.
we were.
yeah, just like suddenly out of nowhere.
Yeah, like that.
But that's the thing. It's like, but if you're gonna make that comparison, it's like what Alive did for Kiss. It's like they just never captured that energy in the studio, and then they did on the live album. If you go back and listen to the studio album of Musta Got Lost, it's the tempo is way slower and it never builds up to anything. In fact, when the guitar solo starts, they fade it out.
Oh, really?
So you never really get that build up of energy toward the end. So
Yeah. Sounds like they made a lot of poor decisions in that
File it
studio.
File it alongside "I Want You to Want Me." You know.
Yeah.
Same.
situation.
It's the same thing. Yes, that's a great comparison there. The Budokan stuff. You listen to that, and then you listen back to the studio versions. And I think Cheap Trick's studio versions have a little more energy versus Kiss or Jay Geils, but it's nothing compared to what they captured on that iconic live album. So yeah, it's definitely same as that.
Well, if you disagree with us, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Did you guys know it's Pot of Thunder month?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's actually Pot of Thunder week because on Saturday of this week, the week of the release of the episode, not the week that we're recording it, is our actual 10-year anniversary.
The 22nd?
Yeah, the 22nd.
Did we, I think I asked this before, did we put out more than one episode in one day?
We did not. We recorded several episodes.
Okay.
We did
one
3,
day.
I think, that first
Yeah,
day.
we thought that was kind of how it was going to be, but then we started doing 2-hour episodes, and that wasn't really possible.
No.
But we recorded several in one day, and
But we just released them once a week.
Yeah,
as normal. Okay.
Right.
I just Got confused.
Correctamundo.
I gotcha. Hey, did you guys know that one of our very favorite listeners, our friend Eric Sartana Horner, sent in a message for our 10th anniversary?
Did not know that.
Well, you're going to know it right now.
Pod strikes 10, must be Monday night. A decade of stupidity, but that's alright. Listen to Pound of Thunder tonight. Leave us a voice message tonight.
See, our studio material fully captures. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say our studio material fully captures the energy of raw rock and roll. So sorry to interrupt there.
Let's hear what Eric has to say.
Hello, this is Eric Sartana Horner, a fellow pothead here. Just wanted to say I appreciate the years of work you guys have done. You've kept me sane through work many times, I'm sure, with a lot of other potheads. It was really cool when you mentioned me on the show a few times, and a few guys, I guess, bought some of my music. Anyways, you guys rock. Don't ever stop. You're my number one podcast, so keep kicking ass. Feel like I've made a few friends along the way with you guys. All right. Respect.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good dude. Good dude. Always putting out new music. If you're his friend on Facebook, I don't know. If you're not, you should be.
Seek him out. Buy his music.
Yeah. Good dude.
Yeah, appreciate that. And yeah, when people feel like they've made friends with us, some people actually have, and other people we banter a lot, in private messages and whatnot. But to hear people say that definitely is a good feeling. Makes that, and when people talk about the community, like with the listeners have built amongst themselves, that's makes it all worthwhile.
That is interesting. Sometimes you'll see like some random person who listens to the show on whatever, Instagram or Facebook or something, and then you'll see comments by other people who they don't know each other from anything but Pot of Thunder.
Yeah.
I've seen
It's
that.
like, that's cool, little
that's
community.
good. It is.
It's a real thing. All right, let's take a quick commercial break for more candy bars that are improper vowel sounds, and we'll be right back with Yardo Questions.
I don't get yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them.
Swing away.
Yes, Chief.
So what happened to Jamie Foxx?
Nick and I, you weren't on that string.
I might have just missed it.
Might have been just me and Nick, but my sources tell me that he had suffered a head laceration from a poorly fitted Miami Sharks ball cap.
It's entirely possible.
Had to be hospitalized immediately. The sharp edges of it.
That'll do it to you.
It will.
You got to be careful.
You can't just throw on that hat.
No.
You have to put it on very carefully.
Not a well-constructed hat by
it's
any
the worst hat in existence. And it's right here in Montezuma Studios.
Is it? I think
it's on the rack over there.
It's somewhere
Okay.
over there. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Well, hope he's all right. Hope he recovers from his head laceration.
As we stated amongst ourselves, an 80-year-old cock has more rigidity and structure than that hat does. It's an absolute piece of shit.
The worst hat, you say?
It has to be.
It is.
Because I look at it, I haven't tried it on,
I
and I
tried
don't
it
plan
on.
to. But when I look at it, I just say, not a great hat. But you say the worst
No,
hat.
it's several levels below
I'm gonna go
not
get
a
it.
great hat.
And it was worse before you got it.
How's that happen?
Because I tried it on when it came in.
There's a lot of hats up there. I don't know if you'll be able to find
And
them.
it was painful to wear.
I think
I
next
took
shelf down, all the way to the left, and at the bottom.
I took some heavy-duty snips to the inside of it.
You did?
Yeah, because this is the only hat I've ever seen where the bill protrudes through to where your forehead is.
Oh, yeah.
So I took
terrible.
a pair of snips and was trying. Oh, I can fix this. No, I couldn't fix this. Let's see how long Andy lasts.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's like there's like a hard plastic, like you said, the bill protrudes in the corners.
It does.
It's not supposed to do that.
No, and it was worse.
Poorly made hat.
They sent it over. How does it feel?
It's not bad.
Andy likes
It
it.
actually looks good, decent on Andy.
Might be my new hat.
Something about my head, just the shape of it. It looks like a fucking teepee in the front.
I mean, it does have a very a pronounced point right in the middle.
Which that shouldn't be there either.
No.
But yeah, it's terrible. It actually doesn't look bad on Andy.
It didn't feel bad.
I'll trade that one back to you for giving me back my Rolling Thunder hat.
Okay.
That I should have never given away in the first place, but I appreciate you giving it back.
I took good care of it.
You did.
I just held on to it for you and gave it back to you 10 years later. Okay. Oh, I have to do this, don't I? I forget sometimes what I'm doing in my old age. Yardo questions coming your way. Brought to you by the good people at Nick. That's right. Thank you. Okay. Do you want to do one from today, or do you want to do one from like earlier in the week?
What do you like better?
Do you not care?
Today is an interesting proposition, but if the one from earlier in the week looks pretty good, then
Nah, looks like shit.
which one?
Yeah.
Do people still not have the math down for this?
No, they're pretty good about it now.
Okay.
Well, I haven't even looked at this one.
Look at
All right.
that.
Okay, I'm not even going to read all these. I'm just going to look at the first one. I'm interested in your thoughts on this,
Okay.
so I'm going to go with it. This one's from a couple weeks ago. All right, this Yardo Questions comes to us from Josh Brainerd.
Hello, Josh.
What's up, Josh?
That was almost my name at birth.
Brainerd?
Brainerd Jones was going to be.
Really, Joshua was in the mix for you?
Yeah, as far as I know, it was all but decided until
Then what happened?
Jay suggested Nicholas because of 8 is Enough, the character Nicholas.
Mm.
And,
That's better than this pretend story I was going to tell about
and they
why
went
it was
and they
changed.
went with it.
Much better than my version. Hey guys, I swear this show keeps getting better and better every week.
He's right.
I wish I could disagree.
He's right.
From the randomness of February to the train wreck Slipknot episode to making fun of Canada, which is always terrific, to the always great Tooge appearances. Oops, forgot we can't call him that. Keep them coming, boners. Here are my yardos. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 1. Are you believers in any way, shape, or form in the paranormal? And have you had any unexplainable experiences like seeing a ghost or UFO? I'd never heard this conversation from either of you, I don't think, so I'm interested.
Okay. I'm skeptical of a lot of it. UFOs especially. I'm pretty skeptical about that. And no, I mean, just in case if somebody was going to counterpoint, like, have you watched this particular documentary or read about this particular case or Area 51 or whatever. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Not saying that I hold any sort of belief where it can't be the case. It certainly can, but I've never heard an alien story where I thought, you know what? I think so. Like, I think that might be true. It just hasn't done that to me. Ghosts, I believe, certainly could appear to people, but I would kind of liken it to the UFO thing in the sense that I think so many of the stories you hear about it I'm not convinced in it. But I'd say between the two, I would believe, like the paranormal, that some sort of apparition appears from time to time. So I'm not a strong believer in like, hey, let's go to our old high school and because
it's so haunted.
Because it's so haunted, and you're gonna for sure, like one of the dumbest and I maybe not dumbest, but just something where I never got into it. Was it Ghost Hunters? What was the show where it was like the green?
There were more
light?
than one. But yeah.
And they had the camera strapped to their torsos,
and then they would just make up,
and they'd be walking somewhere, and then they would.
And they'd be like, look at this meter.
And all you're looking at is the guy.
The guy would be walking around
in the dark.
The guy's walking around with a dust buster, pretending it's a thing. Oh, look at this!
Like that kind of stuff, I don't believe in. But
yeah,
is it possible? I'd say in both cases, yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, I've never had any personal experience with either of those things, like seeing a UFO or thinking of seeing a ghost or anything like that. And I really have no interest in the topic. I have no. That's pretty much it right there. I have no interest in it, meaning that I don't dismiss it, but I don't buy into it either. I just really have no opinion on it, mainly because I've never had a personal experience with either of those things. So yeah, it just seems kind of strange to me, but I don't fixate on it. I just have never seen a UFO or a ghost.
Yeah,
as simple as that.
Me neither.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that both are fake. Neither one has ever happened. Question 2.
We made it up.
Made it up.
It's false.
It's false. Question 2. Is there any invention you initially thought was stupid and would never succeed, but then caught wildfire and was huge, or changed your mind on? For example, when rollerblades came out, I thought they were really dumb and would bomb. I also thought putting cameras in cell phones was goofy and would bomb. I'm a dope.
Isn't there a story that it was like some elder relative of our dad's just actually made rollerblades many years ago?
Like a tinkerer of sorts.
Yeah, and just kind of was like, hey, what if someone did this? And they all just kind of laughed at him.
And they said, you horse's ass. And then he threw him in the garbage, and then
threw that garbage in the other garbage.
And then then later.
So
we could have been heirs to the rollerblade fortune. And look at us with nothing.
Nothing but a apocryphal tale.
And what is that thing called again?
and a chupaga.
We have 2 chupagas, and that's it. 3 sons, 2 chupagas. That's what we get to walk away with in the end.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Inventions.
This is a very good question. I know that it's happened to me personally.
I feel like
I can't think of the example, but I know that that's dumb. And then I get one. I'm like, this is great.
This is pretty great.
Yeah, certainly happened. One thing I will bring up that, and I think it caught wildfire because it was so outlandish and stupid looking, was the selfie stick.
Oh yeah.
Not saying that I agreed that it was a good invention even after it.
But you don't see those very much.
No, those are out of style now. But
what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
People don't need that distance anymore on their selfies. Is that the problem?
It's a ludicrous invention that exploded.
Yeah, kind of like the hula hoop of the modern day.
Yeah.
You know, another one was the, what are those called? Like those segways and all those like variations of it.
Mm-hmm.
People were really thinking that was the only way human beings were going to get from one place to another, and they didn't catch on really. It was just like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
It became a silly thing for children.
I guess when you've invested in it, that's what you're going to tell people.
Yeah. No more walking. This is what we're doing. Nobody wants that shit.
That's a very good question.
I guess for me, it would be like streaming music and digital music. I thought I'd never be like, I'd always be playing it in front of a stereo. And yeah, you have you would have your portable things like the Walkman and stuff like that to listen to cassettes or whatever, like when you were on the move or in the car stereo. But like just the streaming, you know, Spotify and Bluetooth, and I'm a late adopter to all of that, but now I'm all about it. I'm like 100% Spotify listener now. And I realize that, you know, artists are getting hosed, but, you know, the fact that all music is on there just goes to prove that in every recording contract there's language in there that's like probably 50 pages in that nobody reads. It says that accounts for like music delivery systems that haven't been invented yet. We still own you on those, and the language is in there because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have every single band imaginable except for a handful on Spotify. But so yeah, I mean, part of me doesn't feel great about the disparity of money going on there, but at the end of the day, I'm 100% adopter of Spotify and streaming music. I mean, it's all available.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't want to say you don't make a difference, but you don't make a difference. Meaning, like, if you're the one holdout when it's gotten this far.
Well, right.
It's
exactly.
Like you're not saving anybody's life by, you know.
No, you're not. And at the end of the day, they sign those contracts. Language is in there. It's one of those things where nobody read the whole contract. It was just time to sign a recording deal, and this is where you're at. And,
yeah.
You know, that's it. That's it for me.
It is what it is, and that's why concerts cost what concerts cost, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, that's another discussion, but in answer to the question, late adopter, didn't think I would be a convert to it, but I am a 100% Spotify person these days with my music.
Nicholas?
I would go with, and I don't have one of the expensive ones. Mm-hmm. I have a knockoff brand, but I would say the Big Egg grills. I don't have a Big Green Egg, but
the quote unquote,
yeah,
Big Green Egg.
I've got a smaller generic version, much more affordable, and works pretty well. And I just remember, it's one of those things where when you first see it and you see how much it costs,
yeah,
you can't fathom,
yeah,
that it's worth that much money. And then, just like the generic one that I have, it once you get it going, and you have the temperature regulated, you have your wood chips and your coals all, you know.
That's for smoking right. Smoking meat over a long period of time. Okay.
Yeah, but once you have that going, and it maintains the right temperature. Yeah, I would say I don't know the science behind it, but it does quite a good job.
What do you make on that thing?
Usually
barbecued lemonade,
smoked lemonade. It'll be like cut up chicken or just a pork shoulder.
Oh, you know, I had some of that at your house. I said
probably so.
Not bad, Nick. Not bad, Nick.
All credit goes to the knockoff green. What is it? Green egg.
Yeah. All right. Question 3: are there any clothing trends you feel should make a comeback, or ones that never caught on but you think should? I think it would be cool to see capes make a comeback. I could totally see the boners wearing capes around downtown Hammond. Looking forward to another 500 plus episodes. Nick's got a cape today.
Got a cape right
here. But I mean, that's like not a costumey cape, but like a proper
Like a wool cape.
outerwear. You know, not something you get at the fucking Halloween spirit store. I've been flying the cape flag for years. I haven't taken the plunge and gotten one. I have looked around, and almost everything out there is costumey. I would like something like legit cape. I would wear that.
Like a pea coat, but a cape. Like
Right.
that material.
Yes, right.
And density and weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A proper garment. But the other thing is, Nick is rocking one lately, and I've been talking about this one for years, is the walking stick as a proper men's accessory.
Yeah.
And essentially, you're walking around with a weapon that nobody can chastise you for. And then the one I've participated in for a while, and I have several, is the ascot.
Yeah.
It's very much more comfortable than the conventional necktie, and it's a better look for spring and summer, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you took the words out of my mouth with the capes. Oh yeah, and the monocle. We've discussed the monocle.
Monocle is one of the worst accessories in history. I mean, it could be visually exciting, but as far as practicality goes, terrible.
Having to scrunch down your eyebrow to have it stay on there, that's
terrible.
That's poorly thought out.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like busting one out these days, you would definitely stand out in a crowd to be like, what's that guy all about?
Yeah.
The monocle.
I want to say we had this question before.
Did we?
And I'm going to give what I believe was the same answer. I brought up a photo to show you guys, but I think I still have it somewhere in my dresser. I had a watch that hung from your belt loop. A hangwear, I believe, was the... I have a picture here. Just
Did it
in
have
case.
a question mark at the end?
You remember that?
Yeah.
I wore one for years, and I think I still have it.
Yeah.
And it was
That's like the pocket watch.
essentially, but it hung from your belt loop.
But that's what the fifth pocket on your jeans is for the pocket,
The pocket watch.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
Mine had a...
Nowadays, your pocket watch, of course, is your phone.
Yeah.
this was like
Pre-phone.
Pre-phone, and it had that nighttime function. You could press in
you
the
could see
button,
the little-
and it would glow. Yeah.
Just in case you need to know what time it is in the middle.
I don't know what time period exactly.
In your jeans.
when you're looking for UFOs
Yeah.
and ghosts and whatnot.
You're going to document it in your UFO notebook.
It was before cell phones, of course. It was quite a handy accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a
one.
good one. The pocket watch.
Yeah. Is there anything you're glad to see gone in recent times? Or hope goes away?
I didn't really care for, 10, 15 years ago, the skinny jeans craze.
Yeah.
Wasn't really that big into it. I wasn't at all
Other
into
than
it.
that,
but
I mean, that's probably maybe when it started, but I feel like that just finally kind of went away in the last.
I think a more
couple years.
comfortable look
Yeah.
in jeans is better, because it got to a point where just about everybody had the skinny jeans look.
The
and,
jeggings. You gotta have the right frame for it.
Well, and
which Nick does.
Oh, there you go. So
But
Nick, what are you mad about?
I never wore them.
You should have. You blew it. You're built for jeggings.
Well, Crocs would be another one, but I'm glad those are back in full force.
Did they leave?
They did. So they're okay.
All the kids are wearing
That's what I
them.
mean. My niece is 18 and she wears them. So if
Yeah,
that's
kids wear them all.
I've been
big with the younger set.
Yeah,
They're absolutely ludicrous looking.
they are, but
I've never worn a pair, so I don't know what I'm missing.
So they were, of course, this wasn't that many years ago. You'd see memes about basically, you'll never get the chance to procreate if you're wearing Crocs.
Right.
I think we talked about that on the
Probably so. Now,
these kids
young women are wearing Crocs.
These youngsters in college are procreating with nothing but Crocs.
Yeah, exactly. Leave them on is the tagline, basically.
Put those Crocs over my shoulder
Exactly.
and go to town.
Right. Exactly right. Yeah. No, as I've talked about, I keep a pair by the back door for when I got to take out the trash or one of my al fresco leaks out behind the back garage. They're splattered with urine sitting inside my house by the back door.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, they work for that.
Yeah, but you're right. Like, I was at a kid's birthday party not that long ago, and then some of the older siblings and their friends were there,
all
like
got
12,
right?
13, or whatever in that range, all wearing Crocs with the little charms and the holes and stuff.
That's another one too.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
I find those things sometimes when neighborhood kids are over.
Mm-hmm.
What is this little
like
a little
lemon with a face on it or something, like some nonsense thing, an avocado.
Yeah, they fall off and
random
find
shit.
them later.
Crocs is getting the last laugh.
Is there
the balls that you put on the back strap that we've seen?
Yeah, exactly. I should get a pair of those. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all the time we have today. Oh, do these count as skinny jeans? I don't think so anymore,
No,
right?
no.
We're beyond that.
You're not wearing skinny.
No, those are just slim fit.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a slim fit, but I'm kind of built like a donkey, so sometimes the slims come across like a skinny depending on the make.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of finding the right brand and style. But yeah, the ultra skinny is, yeah. Well, you had the body for it, Nick. Me and Andy don't, so.
I just never cared for the look.
But yeah, I think as with everything else, you got to meet somewhere in the middle. A good slim look is good. Just a complete baggy that like no thought was given into the fit at all.
That's no good
either.
Yeah, but like the Ramones looked cool. Their jeans couldn't have been tighter.
Yeah,
True.
but the Ramones are, you know,
it's a costume.
Not everybody can pull that off.
Yeah, that's what
obviously.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Yep, and as I said, Saturday
is it the official 10-year
10-year anniversary of the release of the Strutter episode.
Wow.
Started everything. So I thank everyone for being along for the ride, however long you've been on it. And we I don't know about the never stop directive from our listener today, but we hope to keep plowing forward for a good period of time here because people still enjoy it. It's fun, and we're actually getting a little scratch from it at long last. So there you have it.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
You can buy more charms for our Crocs.
You know, if it's possible to make custom ones.
Oh man, Pot of Thunder ones.
As soon as we're sold out of those pins,
we should see if we can get some of those made up. What are they? It's like a little rubber thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never looked closely enough at one, but I'm aware of them.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna have a whole bunch of those, and they're gonna be on clearance not long. They're not gonna sell. If it's adolescents who are wearing these, they're not gonna be buying the Pot of Thunder Croc charms. Okay, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with more of your favorite podcast, Pot of Thunder.
French fried potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes, loaded baked potato, or the waffle fries, or the rice.